Norma, the first thing that springs to mind is fabulous. That's the word. That's the word that really describes Norma. She's inspiring, she's driven, she's motivated, she has so much energy, and I really feel what she's given to especially women in the industry, but all of us in South Africa in the wine industry, is something really to be commended.
And I said to myself, what an incredible woman. And all the things that she has achieved in her life. And I said, one day I would like to be like you.
What struck me was her passion, her work ethic, and her commitment to excellence.
Who was she? She was this wife of a wealthy farmer. They didn't make any wine. She was an extremely good-looking woman, dressed beautifully. She could have just been a socialite. And she was surrounded by wine people, winemakers, and I think she's just decided that there was something interesting here.
En Norma het in hierdie omgewing ingekom en in daai tyd was vandag se Warwick was 'n vrugteplaas. Maar sy het daai tipiese eienskappe van die cowboys gehad. Hold your ground, take a little more, hold your ground, take a little more. En op die ou end het ou Steen se knieë maar aangegee en hy moes wingerd plant.
When I'd made my first commercial vintage in 1984, I found out how little I knew.
She went and learned how to make wine. She worked harvests in Bordeaux.
And I've never looked back on that wonderful experience.
And her very first wine was that Femme Bleu. She came out with a blue label, which was kind of really not the thing you did in the wine industry.
Correct.
But it went with the Femme Bleu.
People used to phone me late at night and say, I've just drunk a bottle of your wine and it's totally delicious, but we really think it was stupid to put this blue label on. Wines don't have blue labels.
And this was just Norma's way of putting her stamp on things. She wasn't going to do it like everybody else. She was going to do it her way. And I've always admired that about her.
My whole time in the industry was going to people and saying, tell me how this works. How do I do this? How do I do that?
And she was willing to listen. I wouldn't say she took all the advice she got from, because maybe a lot of advice she got from me was probably bad advice, but she was always willing to listen to what everybody has to say and put it all together.
And I once said to Mike, he asked me a question, and I said, I don't know the answer, but somebody knows the answer. And he said, he wanted to phone some very important person. I said, phone and make an appointment. They'll see you. Somebody saw them somewhere along the line. And I said, don't reinvent the wheel. Some people have made these mistakes already. Learn from their mistakes and go forward.
So many wonderful experiences and anecdotes and pieces of information that have quietly been shared over the years.
This is just a brain and a personality looking to make a difference and to make things better.
I was invited to become a member of the Cape Winemakers Guild, which was a great honor.
They don't just invite any woman to become a member of the guild.
And immediately she made her presence felt, and it was obviously not surprising to us all that it was a matter of time, and she took over the reins and was a super efficient chairman, and which sort of leads me to have to believe that the best man for the job is always a woman, and that's typically Norma.
You have to really be quite good at what you do to have the men respect you enough to be invited, to become a member of the guild and so on. So she never doubted herself. She just went for it. This is the highest honor that these guys can pay anybody. That's your ultimate achievement, actually, in South Africa, and there she was as a woman.
It was the pathway for me to get involved with the CWG Protege project, which I totally love because it's been such a success.
She shows me that, Praisey, if you want something, go for it. And then if you need help, shout. Don't hesitate to call me anytime, and then she helps. We won't go. She inspired me to be the best winemaker, but at the same time, to stay true to yourself. You don't have to change who you are to please other people. And she also has a soft side. She's got so much love for her family.
I wanted to build something up that I would leave a little bit of a legacy.
They developed the intense kind of interest in their family, and the kids just reflect that.
One of the highlights of my personal life is that my children have followed me in the industry.
It's been a long journey, a wonderful journey, even up until the age that I was 25. And probably for my sister too, we never considered even joining the wine industry. I remember over family lunches, you know, my mom and my dad were always talking about wine, and we just said, stop it. Stop talking about wine, let's just drink it. But it was a natural evolution, and it's been wonderful to have had such a strong role model.
Mike is, as you know, is very prominent in the industry and heading up our team. And my daughter Jenny got her Cape Wine Masters and has continued in her own business with her own wine magazine, Wine Style.
I think the other very clear thing from a female point of view is I'm very proud of my mother for having played such a strong leadership and mentorship role for women in South Africa.
They have a mentorship program, and they look after ladies in the wine industry, and Norma is very active in that.
And the idea behind it was to be a platform or almost a springboard for young women or women across the wine industry to meet each other, to share ideas,
to just taste more, to get out more, to like be contacts, to be a kind of a mentorship society.
And Norma's been instrumental in bringing everyone together and being so generous to give her time to especially young winemakers, young marketeers, people who are interested in the industry.
Everything that I did in the industry, all the rows that I plowed, I didn't really do it for the women. But it turns out that now it helps the women.
They're going to have to beat her to death one day because she just will carry on finding projects to do, and it's fantastic.
I keep saying I'm going to retire, but that doesn't seem to be happening. And maybe I wouldn't like that either.
Whatever she did, she wanted to do very well. But it wasn't just wine, it was the gardens and the family, and everything about it had to be just the best.
And she was not only a winemaker, she made her winery from the ground up. And I can't think of anyone more deserving of recognition than Norma. She's sort of the mother of the South African wine industry from my perspective. A real leader, tremendous energy, great person.
And she's one of the leading winemakers. And I don't want to say women winemakers because I believe she's one of the leading winemakers in South Africa.
She's always given far more than what she's taken, and I think that will always sort of stay with me.
She deserves this recognition.
Norma, I really congratulate you on this well-deserved award.
You, Norma, are one of my biggest role models, and not just for me, but I think for all the upcoming young winemakers. So today I want to make a toast to you, Norma, on yet another big, enormous, great achievement. Cheers.
From all of us to you, Norma. Cheers.
And so, on this auspicious occasion, to my mother, on behalf of my sister and myself, you completely deserve this award. But I'd like to take this opportunity to perhaps confer another award tonight, and that is to the mother of the last 40 years. Congratulations. Cheers, and well done.